Hello, hello, you guys. Good evening. It's I and I again, Keith, your host. Man of letters, here to bring you knowledge, information, and a bit of entertainment. You know how it goes. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. I'd like to welcome you all to our humble abode. It ain't too flashy, but it's home. You know what I mean? Ain't too flashy, but it's home. So, thanks everyone for showing up. We're out in the garage, further from the Wi-Fi box. Forgive the buffering. If it messes up for you, hit that refresh button. Hopefully it all comes together. We're gonna pull some cards. It's a Sunday. Might as well do it for the week. Let's hope it's a good one. Let's hope it's a good week. It should be. It feels good. Been good so far. We're all hustling right now. We're all hustling. I feel like a lot of us are hustling. So don't forget to celebrate the small victories, you guys. Don't forget to celebrate the small victories. Kim, Third Eye, Alfonso, Rose, Orchard. How y'all doing? Happy to see you here. Oh man, YouTube, are you already buffering? I was hoping to get at least 15-20 minutes before we'd get a buffer, but looks like we're already getting them. Anywho, thank you guys for being here. We'll crack right into it. I'm gonna need 3 numbers from you guys. 3 numbers from the first 3 people that give me a number. Yes, Sandia, what up, girl? What up? Nice to see ya. Please feel free to chip into the Patreon, and then maybe I can upgrade my internet speed so we don't have to deal with the buffering anymore. I think it's like another $20 a month or something like that to boost it. Anywho, give me 3 numbers. Hit me with 3 numbers. Chim on, y'all. Chim on. Oh, I should post. While you guys give me the numbers, I'm gonna post in my in the community that we're live, because as you guys know, YouTube's not always blasting the notifications. Speaking of which, if you could all like the video, that would be wonderful, so that it continues to blast the notifications to the YouTube channel. We are live. We might even get a special guest tonight, Alchemy, but we'll see if he rolls through. Let's see if he rolls through. Oh no! Oh, went for $191. Just kidding. Interesting. Very interesting. Anywho, what was that? We can close all of this. I'm trying to free up memory on my computer so you guys can have a nice stream-worthy video. Again, if you guys are just checking in, I'm your host, Keith, the man of letters, here to bring you knowledge, information, and at the very least, a bit of entertainment. Thank you guys for stopping in. Feel free to take your shoes off. Stay a while. Stay a while. 369. Oh, you're way late though. 935. Close. So we're going with 935. And what shall our objects be today? Okay, hold on. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can tell everyone in here reads Nikola Tesla because everyone always picks derivatives of 3, 6, and 9. Whoops. 2, 3, and 5. What up, Shaw Sykes? Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Alchemy, what up? No, Alchemy of Life, you're not. You're fine, man. I hit you up literally within minutes of starting the stream. I definitely didn't expect you to be ready to go. at a drop of a dime. However, I was hoping. But let me do this card pull real quick, and then we might do some emerald tablets, whatnot. Okay, we've got tree cards. Here are your objects to choose from. First, you got Dad Life is Good Life, Call Me Daddy. Hope you didn't see it. Oh no, you could. Dad Life is the Best Life. Object number 1. Gandalf Peace Pipe for card number 2. And we'll do a black beeswax candle for object number 3. So to go over it again, we have Dead Life is Best Life, card number 1. We have the OG, you're fine. OG Gandalf Pipe is number 2, and Black Beeswax is number trace. No. Also, feel free to pour you guys selves a glass of wine or water, maybe some tea. Roll up some oregano. I'm drinking some home distilled rum on my end that I really need to cut in the near future. Holographic Harley, hello Heather Slaughter? Savage. It's a savage last name, Heather. I like it though. I like it. Alright. Everyone hit the like button for me so the notification can be shot out. You guys don't have to tell me. I'm going to read each card, so... Or, you can tell me if you want. But we're going to start with Dad Life is Best Life. Let me pull out my handy dandy notebook. We already got somewhat of a heavy card. I'm pulling some heavy cards lately, haven't I, you guys? My bad. I apologize. Sorry that I'm not sorry. The first card we pulled, however, is the 7 of Swords. And the 7 of Swords just so happens to be the Lord of unstable effort. So we'll read a couple things and get on with our lives. 7 of Swords. Discipline yourself to stay focused on the desired outcome, and you will make your way past all competing circumstances. Yeah, you'll see the card. You can see all the swords are sort of battling it out. You got the card in the advised position. The 7 of Swords in this position suggests that deep within you, you already know what has to happen. You know what steps to take, what order to take them in to bring about a desirable outcome in this situation. You may have enough of an overview to see how to advance through the maze and achieve your goal. Continue to envision unobstructed success. Even as the path you are walking changes and the circumstances around you obscure your view, keep the desired outcome clear and sharp in your mind. You will quite likely reach your goal and gain tremendous self-esteem in the process. So we're dealing with mental preparedness, visualizing desired results. Before I go on, most of the spread seems to be towards a hustle. We even got the reversed Hermit for the next card, and then the Lord of Victory. We got the 6 of Wands for the third card. Card number 2, you got the reversed Hermit. If you picked the old trusty Gandalf Pipa, you got the Hermit reversed. 6 of Wands was the black beeswax. Black roses in my garden. That's where we're at. Oh, she's running hot right now, isn't she? My poor computer. Alright, so before I read the rest of these cards, I just wanna, something was brought to my attention today having to do with the hustle. It was a video that was a sort of breath of fresh air. One of my friends sent it to me, and the video was talking about the I guess you could call it the dark / toxic. I don't like the word toxic. We'll call it the dark side of self-help, and I'm lumping spiritual growth within that. There's advancing down what one would call the spiritual path can be quite a rush. You learn new things, you conquer new things, you learn new things, you conquer new things. Every peak you pass gives you a shot of dopamine. However, each peak is followed by another valley. You can't have a peak without a valley, in other words. So we get addicted to the peaks, and we ignore the valleys. And we play this sort of blind optimism game where we assume that everything in the world is sort of rainbows and sunshine. And so when we do get hit with the polar opposite, which happens from time to time, we don't know how to handle it. At least that's what I picked up from the video. My interpretation, what stuck to me was, this has been sort of a reoccurring theme in my life, is to not attach so much to the not attached to the outcome, but don't identify your value with the outcome of your endeavors. If you take something on, by all means work hard to accomplish it, but don't let that thing become your identity. We can be a whole bunch of things. We can enjoy a whole bunch of things. We can be good at a whole bunch of things. A whole bunch of things can bring us genuine peace, happiness, etc. So yeah, by all means, point being, for these cards, take into consideration that it's not as serious as it seems. You know what I mean? It's not as serious as it seems. It's meaningful. The things you do have meaning, right? The actions and thoughts you have meaning, but they're not as serious as you make them out. Okay, so with that being said, we got the 7 of Swords. We kind of did that one, Lord of Unstable Effort. It's kind of straightforward. It was just kind of overly simple. And envision your success again. Visualize. Oh, it said it when situations resist being helped. Don't blame yourself for setbacks. At least you know in your heart that you gave it your best effort. It's funny. It's exactly what I was fucking talking about. Now that I read the actual description, when situations resist being helped, don't blame yourself for setbacks. At least you know in your heart that you gave it your best effort. That's assuming you did actually give it your best effort, because a lot of times we don't give our best effort. So this card's not completely right. Not completely right. If you did give it that, and that's what's important about giving it 110, is that if you do fail at something, giving it 110, you know 2 things. 1, maybe that shit wasn't just cut out for you. Or 2, There's no beating yourself up. There's no unnecessarily extreme of beating yourself up if you fail at something that you gave 110. At that point, you just gotta take your fucking hat off. Just, touche, mon frere. Well played, good sir. Better luck next time. Gave it your all. The options were shit or get off the pot. You shit and it hit the fan, unfortunately. Whatever, go back to the drawing board. Fortunately, or unfortunately, or fortunately, you can have that mindset when you give it 110. When you give it your best effort. And I've said that wrong. This one was actually right side up, not upside down. So that's where you guys are at. It reminds us that even heroic effort sometimes does not fully succeed or goes unappreciated. If you have done the best you could do and responded to the calls of conscience appropriately, you are still a noble soul. So again, before I even pulled this card, I was wanting to say, don't take shit so seriously. Your spread, the media, books and magazines and movies and TV shows that you read. Anywho, card number 2. Y'all picked the Hermit, and this one was upside down, by the way. Was it the Hermit? Yeah, it was the Hermit. The voice of light. The Hermit is the voice of light. He who goes into the darkness, into the solitude, to be undisturbed by everything. To pull back that which is from beyond the veil. Alright, we'll go ahead and break down the Hermit. Actually, let me check my stream and make sure we're even still live. Beauty within, hello, hello. Is that the homie? That's the homie. What up, man? How you doing? Nice to see you. Jesus is Lord of Lords. I had to pick the dad life card. I hope some of you guys are able to answer each other's questions. Holographic Harley, you can turn water to wine? Technically, I can too. But I have to. Technically, it's the yeast that's turning the water to wine, and not necessarily me. Anyway, Shaw, nice to see you. Thanks, hey, thanks everyone for stopping by. Would love it if y'all hit the like button to spread the channel elsewhere. Oh yeah, we're supposed to read the Hermit now, right? Okay. So we'll give you a general meaning. The ability to recognize a teacher in a humble disguise. This font of mysterious knowledge will not make it easy for the student to acquire his wisdom, as it takes time and long contemplation to fathom what he knows. Often speaks wordlessly or in ancient and barbaric tongues, communicating with the elements, animals, and nature herself. While an hourglass was an identifying feature on the earliest Hermit tarot cards, more modern cards have shifted the metaphor, showing more or less light released from his lantern. In either case, the Hermit card reminds us the value of time away from the hubbub of civic life, to relax the ego in communion with nature. What are you doing, chickadees? Relax over there. We got 2 baby chickens, and they're crazy. They're crazy birds. So you guys pulled the Hermit card. Those of you that pulled the old Gandalf peace pipe, and when this card is reversed, resistance of a process evolving towards a level of wisdom that sets you apart. You may be resisting the process of evolving towards a level of wisdom that sets you apart. Fear of the path is haunting you. It could be a fear of loneliness. Try to remember that the shamanic method for facing fears is to relax and open. Let them in and allow them to have their way for a while. This way you know them fully and will see them pass of their own accord. When there are no more surprises, you can move into a place of empowered action. We had a brother Christian on the channel a couple weeks ago, and he planted a seed that I haven't stopped thinking about since. And the idea was, if you're going to do something, give it 100%, even if you're going to the dark side, because there's no sense in being lukewarm. And what that made me think of was a million different things, but how can I not run on for 15 minutes all over the goddamn place? Feel something. Really feel some shit out. Like, really feel something out. If you have an emotion or a desire, even if it's a bad desire, like, feel it out. Don't be afraid of it. Don't pretend it doesn't exist. Like, go all fucking in. Even if it's a dark thought, go all in and imagine what it would be like for that to be reality. I know that goes contrary to most New Age teaching, because you're not supposed to think about things you don't want. But here it is. Here's the angle that I'm coming from. If you give something 110% of your awareness as it comes up, you'll see it for what it really is and can make a better decision on how you want to proceed with said thought. Whereas, and here's what will happen if you give it 110. If it's bad, it will really be bad. You'll know, oh fuck, this is not what I want at all. This is actually madness. But if you would have approached the situation half-ass, you would have sort of died a long, slow death of stagnance, rust, and rot. You know what I mean? Like dying like a boat that rusts and falls apart in harbor when it should have been destroyed by a hurricane in the South Pacific. It wants to be on the ocean. It wants to live. It wants to feel shit. And I know with me, busyness gets in the way of feeling, or just I want to stay the course and not allow anything else in from the sides because it could distract me. Like, these are some things that come up as they should. Things come up, they come up, whatever. But I'm really learning how to dial shit in as far as going all in with certain things, so that I know then and there if I want it or not. And this reversed hermit says sort of just that. It says, the shamanic method for facing fears, this is the reversed hermit, is to relax and open. Let them in and allow them to have their way for a while. This way you know them fully. See, that's what it means by you know them fully, and will see them pass of their own accord. When there are no more surprises, you can move into a place of empowered action. Right? You're not thinking, oh, what if? What if? There's no what if, because you've explored it as much as you reasonably humanly could. Third card, Six of Wands, upright. Y'all got the Lord of Victory card. Six of Wands. Let's pull up the Six of Wands. And let me check my feed to make sure that you guys are even still there and nothing weird has happened. Well said, holographic Harley. Master, architect, or builder. Well said, Heather. Well said, holographic Harley. Fear yet is powerful, and you can transmute its momentum to propel you. You guys want to know what alchemists do? This is what an alchemist traditionally does. It laughs at mainstream spirituality because main spirituality doesn't have it right. They also tend to not be very outspoken. The OG Hermeticists, they believe in the philosophy. They believe in the philosophy that you should not cast pearls before swine. So you won't really hear too many true alchemists, hermeticists speak openly. For example, like I am. I don't think a true hermeticist would be doing what I'm doing. They don't, like I said, they don't like casting pearls before swine. But what they would do is they would see something as fear, and they wouldn't go, ignore fear. They wouldn't say fear is bad. They wouldn't say only focus on the bright side. They would see fear and they'd go, huh, that's interesting. I'm extremely fearful in this situation. Why? Oh, that's curious. The hell is there's fear coming up? What is it? Where is it coming from? And like holographic Harley said, they would then transmute the fear. Because what fear... So say you have a goal. You've got half the battle down. You've got your mind focused on a desire, a manifestation. So boom, 50% of the work is right there in the vision. That's something you're running towards. On the opposite end of the spectrum, your fears show you the contrast to that goal. So what's the contrast to I want to manifest a certain thing? The contrast could be, well, I don't think I deserve it, or I'm not ready yet, which you might not be, or I don't actually have a goal yet. So I haven't even decided what I want. Therefore, I don't even know the opposing force. Like, that's sort of the problem of not having a definiteness of purpose that we call all the time. If you don't know what you want, then of course there's no such thing as good or bad decisions, because your decisions aren't taking you anywhere anyways. So why does it matter what decision you make? I feel like I was rambling there. Did I lose you guys? Hopefully you're still with me. Anywho, the third card was the Lord of Victory. It was the Six of Wands. Wands off fire. As no wands represent the fire element. Of course it is the Lord of Victory. What else we have on here? We got lots of fire. We got a couple eagles. We got a couple hands holding onto a sphere. Fearlessly act on your convictions, and others will be inspired to support your ideals. This is something we learn about a lot in Napoleon Hill too. He talks about having he calls it a pleasing personality, but I feel like that title way undercuts what he's actually talking about. If you're not stoked on what you're doing, no one else is going to be stoked. That's the thing I'm learning about my child. Because a kid is a fucking animal. My child is not an animal. So my child, Atlas, is 15 months old. And no matter what I talk about, as long as I have extreme enthusiasm when I talk about it and excitement, he doesn't care. I read him a pamphlet from, what was it? It was like, I got something in the mail from EBT, from food stamps, and there was like, hey, these are programs that we have. And so I was reading he comes running up to me with the pamphlet in his hand. He hits me in the face with the pamphlet and looks at me like, I was like, oh, do you want me to read it to you? All right, I'll read it to you. I start reading it to him, and he sits down. He's laughing at every other line because I'm like, if you qualify for food stamps, your whole life could change. And he's like, ah! That's, in terms of as above, so below, that's how all of humanity acts. The only difference with my child is that he has no filter, so his emotions come through raw as fuck. That's what babies do. Their emotions come through unfiltered and raw. That's why they can break your heart with love, and they can break your mind with frustration, because they just go fucking bonkers. You know what I mean? Like, they have no filter. And that's what happens with humanity. That's what this Six of Wands is sort of showing you, is others will be inspired to support you if you support yourself. And you supporting yourself shows your enthusiasm towards your craft. Like, there's nothing, if you're a chef or a musician or a writer or a teacher, like, when you talk about your craft and you're pumped and you're stoked and you're like, oh, I have these great amazing ideas, and you can really elaborate on them because you've actually thought about it, if you can be really excited about them because it genuinely inspires you, people pick up on that shit and they want to be a part of it regardless of what you do. Like, this is the dark side of it. But think about the commercials that pop up on YouTube. Some of them, you could care less what the commercial is selling, but you're balls deep, 20-25 seconds in the commercial, hooked, because they've been able to trigger manipulatively. They have been able to trigger that response out of you through excitement or over exaggeration and shit like that. But hopefully you guys will use this for the better and act on your more healthy convictions, your convictions that help both you and the greater world, not just you. So, anywho, let's keep going with the Six of Wands. Yada yada. Some friends become enemies, some enemies become friends. The Six of this suit points to the respect and acknowledgement due to you for your efforts to solve the problems of your community. The image is usually of a victory parade after the celebrated leader helped troops win a pivotal battle. So y'all have a pivotal battle coming up. However, you're the general, not the troops necessarily, but it is your goal to lead your troops to victory. And like I was saying before, if you're the general and you yourself aren't convinced that you can win, you can fucking trust for damn sure your soldiers will bail on you. If they even make it to the battle, they will be afraid, they will be unorganized, they will flee at the drop of a dime, they won't listen to what you have to say, and you will lose the battle. It took the whole tribe to win the victory, but it was the leader's heroism and the clarity under pressure that helped inspire the W. The team is thrilled the leader led him to victory. This card points to a time to let everyone relax and celebrate. If you are the leader, let them applaud you. They are seeing their better selves reflected in you. A victory indeed. So this week's coming up for a healthy victory for y'all that chose the black roses in my garden. Black blue. Read Marcus Aurelius' Meditations. Well played, Essence. That's how you gotta do it. Love Shard, how's it going? Hello. Brandy, Heather Slaughter with the heavy last name coming true again. But yeah, that was your guys' last card. Sorry for the buffering, y'all. I'm out in the garage again tonight. Brother's probably playing Call of Duty or something, so we will be battling for screen time. there's no more questions or anything, I'll be happy to maybe get some snacks, call it a night. Thanks for all the plugs, John Smith. Appreciate it, man. Agent Smith. We're still doing retreats monthly now at our space. So we have a lot of people that came locally that made it possible to fill all the slots without having the YouTube channel come in. So the plant medicine healers would like to run it monthly, at least with people that they can round up to hopefully push the new global Garden of Eden on the planet. Yeah. Did you do the internet upgrade? No, I haven't. I haven't done the internet upgrade yet. I do have a book, Woodstock. It's called 7 Pillars. A handbook for existence. Also, John Smith has the link. When did you start reading tarot? Not too long ago, man. Not too long ago. I still wouldn't even consider myself as reading tarot. I don't have the cards memorized. I can count on one hand how many cards I have memorized. Most of the stuff I talk about with the cards, I just pull from the Hermetic philosophy and apply it to whatever the picture on the card. Whatever spirit pulls in front of me, I just apply the Hermetic philosophy to it. And it helps. How does one find pizza toppings? You mean to say holographic Harley? You guys can order pizza toppings online. It's not illegal to order mushrooms online. It's illegal to grow them and to consume them and to, I think, harvest them, probably harvest them. But the spores themselves are not illegal. So you guys can get these online, no problem. Ah, bummer. Where we at? The Spaceborn, the Seven Lords, the Key of Mysteries, Key of Freedom of Space. Where are we at? Media source. Hit him with a browse. Hit him with a desk. Hit him with that flute jam. Hit him with that okay. You can grow them, but you can't pick them. That's interesting. Dragon Horizon, we were doing a card pull, but we could possibly be done. Plus, I would really like to burn some oregano right now. Not a mean jelly bean. The greatest great, the thrice great. Ooh, doo, 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 doo. Any other questions, y'all? Spark it ain't in the garage. That's what I'm saying. I gotta leave. I have the Gandalf. I got the tree. I don't have the fire. I don't know where the fire's at. My brother's always taking my fire and he's never putting it back. So like, unfortunately, we can't really do what we gotta do. And I mean, Karen, bienvenidos, Karen. How's it going? Good evening. And known in modern times as dragging her around. That's hella funny. Do you think a good understanding of astrology will help time certain works according to one's astrological sign? It's a good question. Absolutely. Understanding astrology will help time certain works according to one's astrological signs. Again, so one of the things that we learn is that there's a swing to life. There's a rhythm. Life will always flow between two opposite poles, as we always talk about. Understanding the stars helps understand that rhythm most of the time. So we can sort of work with what's happening right now. Like, in showbiz, they say this guy knows how to work a crowd. The reason why the gentleman or lady can work a crowd is because they understand what direction the crowd is going in. Are they happy? Are they sad? Are they anxious? Are they uncomfortable? Are they light and loosened up? Like, what's going on? As a result of that, I can cater to that energy so that the flow is better. Astrology works the same way. They're understanding the room is like you studying the stars for the next week. Oh, everything's gonna be like this, so I will proceed like this. I'm not going to go against the grain and waste my energy. And that way, if you do decide to go against the grain, you're at least doing it consciously, knowing what you're up against and knowing sort of what you have to do to still reach your goal while the energy is working against you. So absolutely, knowing the directions of the stars will help you determine where you are. Vedic or Western astrology, I don't know shit about Vedic astrology. I'm sure they all work. Look, what's in a rose that by any other name would smell just as sweet? What do you guys want to let me borrow a lighter? I would love to burn some dank right now, but I can't because I don't have a lighter. What the hell, man? Maybe my brother will have one. No, nothing. Negative. Weak sauce. Weak sauce. Ow! What do you love about life? Music and good scenery. Who's who? Ooh. ¿Qué más preguntas o es todo? Requires more than just casual scheming the topic. I'd go with a lecture or two a week on the subject and a notebook dedicated to the topic, to be honest. It's that in depth. Yeah. Not everybody. Yeah, you definitely want to be well versed in it, you know what I mean? But that's not to say that you can't figure out a general swing of something in just a few minutes, you know what I mean? Are you more of a sativa or indica? Me burn the sativa like the Shiva, because indica makes me too slow. I just found your channel right now. What are you about? Damn, that's quite the loaded question. Essence? I'd say we're a little about... We dabble. We're sort of... I mean, man-of-letters, you know what I mean? We sort of study the occult, we study esotericism, we study philosophy, we study science and geography, and we like history a lot and different cultures a lot. We like the arts a lot. So our backbone here, I would say, is most likely the Hermetic philosophy, which is sort of a pervading like a pervading body of text in just about every culture ever when you get to knowing it. Things like the Bible, all the Abrahamic religions, paganism, shamanism, even quantum physics is saying the same things now 100 years later. And no, we like to learn and we like to share things here and create a nice little community where people can just come through, be themselves, let loose, take their shoes off, pack a bowl, roll one up, maybe a glass of water, wine, maybe some tea, maybe some green tea. I don't know, just whatever floats your boat. But we do that here. Brandy, everything has gotten so intense lately, I can't even sleep properly. Well, shit, Karen, turn off the TV. You know what would be nice here? I've been wanting to make a separate video on this, but I'll talk about it since I'm here. Maybe I can make a different video. But I was sitting out in the garden today, and I realized, or not, I don't think I realized, but I'm pretty sure I realized why I like gardening so much and growing plants and trees so much. Or like working with the earth, is because it's super grounding. You know what I mean? It's not like if I'm trying to grow my brand, I always have to do shit. There can always be things to do when you're in the hustle. There's always phone calls. You can always rework your goal. You can meditate more. You can be more spiritual, or read more self-help books, or listen to more audio books, or like do more push-ups. There's always more shit you can do. But when it comes to something like gardening, it can be whatever for you. I can only do so much, and then when I'm done, I have no choice but to just literally stare at the grass growing. That's all I can do. I can brew all the compost teas, like plant all the seeds, but at the end of the day, I have to sit there and watch it. And there's a really peaceful feeling about that. You know, it's just nice. It's nice to not have to do shit, and while you're not doing shit, it's nice to not feel guilty about not doing shit. So if you're feeling like you can't sleep because the energies are rough, the energies are rough as hell right now. But they're not rough as hell everywhere right now. And you gotta be careful where you're tuning into, because you tune into something where the energy is thick and heavy, then it's only a matter of time before you feel thick and heavy. Especially if your vibe's not right. Especially if like your spiritual game's not on point. If you're not meditating, if you're not eating well, if you're not getting enough rest, if you're not doing enough things that you enjoy genuinely, thoroughly, then it's real easy to get caught up in the mix. I don't know how I got in that subject, but it can definitely be heavy, but it also doesn't have to be. You know, again, if you found yourself here, you're somewhat of a alchemist. You absolutely are an alchemist, even if you're just getting your baby steps going. And there is gold in every situation. And not to say every situation is good, but every situation is salvageable to your benefit and to the benefit of all mankind, if you're imaginative enough and creative enough and diligent enough. So try not to stay too stressful, you know what I mean? Try not to be too, like I said at the beginning of this video, like everything has meaning, everything is meaningful, but it's not as serious as we take it half the time. What if we all have to get immunizations? It's a different timeline, yo. That's not the timeline we're on right now. We're on a different timeline. You could focus on that one, or you could focus on a different one, you know? What if? I know the what ifs well. Adieu. What is your opinion on being a Kabbalion-based practitioner of magic or manifestation versus Wiccan? That's a good question. What is your opinion on being Kabbalion-based practitioner of magic or manifestation versus Wiccan? In my humble opinion, the Kabbalion specifically states in the first paragraph, I believe, that it is not a practice. It's not a religion. It's not a spiritual practice. It's a philosophy. It's the Hermetic philosophy, and it goes to great length to say that it is a philosophy and not a spiritual practice or religion, because those things can become dogmatic, meaning within a particular spiritual practice or culture, things can become taken for granted, or a group of people could start saying things, parroting things from other people, and people take them at face value because that's just the world they subscribe to. Therefore, everything in that world they by default believe in. Kind of like being a Democrat or Republican. You just don't like Republicans if you're a Democrat, especially now. It's starting to get divided. Anywho, to me, the Kabbalion, aka the Hermetic philosophy, is more of a. It just shows you the gears of reality. It shows you like the inside of a clock. Like, oh, those are the gears. That one churns when that one churns. That one churns when that one churns. Every time. It's just. The clock is built upon these gears, and that's it. It's not saying the gears are good or bad. It's not saying that you have to if you don't do this, then the gear won't work, or if you do this, the gear works more. It's like none of that. It's just this is how the world operates. There are things as opposites. There's such thing as cause and effect. There's such thing as vibration, where everything moves. Everything is in constant vibration, emitting a frequency. And Kabbalion transcends science, physics, quantum physics. It transcends psychology, psychiatry. It transcends geography and the natural world. It transcends nature. Nature itself doesn't even have a philosophy. Nature is just what it is, and it still sort of seems to back it. Whereas Wiccan is just something that uses those laws. So if you're a Wiccan or a shaman, or I guess Wiccans are considered pagans, right? Or whatever fucking religion you are, these things operate under the laws of what the Kabbalion describes. In other words, it's like it's the one text that contains all philosophies, period. So that's sort of what the difference is. So I don't say I practice the Kabbalion lessons or things it has to teach. The Kabbalion is just it just makes you more aware of how existence operates, which makes it easier to, like, I think I wrote this in the beginning of my book. It said something like, my intention is not to teach you guys things, or the intention of this book is not to teach you guys things. Here's what I wrote in the book. My intention is not to give you the key to unlock the door. My intention is to give you a utility belt so that you may build your own door to your own destination. And that's what the Kabbalion does. It doesn't teach you how to unlock things. It just says, hey, here's the fucking building blocks of everything. So you can be the player, you can be the pawn, you could be the door, this could be the key, or you could build your own brand new door with its own set of keys and locks that only you and your friends have. Like, whatever the fuck you want. It's like, have at it. You can go to the dark side, you can go to the light side. Yeah, it's kind of a long-winded answer to your question, I assume, but... Salab, you made it. What's up? Jermaine Mitchell, how's it going, buddy? Nice to see you. A wizard arrives precisely when they meet. A wizard is never late nor early. Y'all out there recording Lord of the Rings? Like it. I like it. Nature explains everything, no matter belief. Yeah, well said. Nature will always be our best teacher. To manifest, give intent without desire. Well said, Dragon. We're going to have to elaborate on that. What's your take on Gnosticism? Like, in what sense? I don't... Not that I don't know too much about the Gnostics. I've read the Gnostic texts, and I don't necessarily know what I think about them. I mean, I enjoy them. I take them with a grain of salt because I know some of the texts weren't written while Jesus was alive. Like, for example, I think the Gospel of Thomas. No, the Gospel of Judas. Based on the words that they used, a lot of those words didn't exist during the time of Jesus. So that's how they figured, like, oh, this wasn't written. Judas himself didn't write this because they didn't have these words when Judas was alive. But it was written by the Gnostics, who at the same time did have a better understanding of the relationship between the apostles, considering they were only 100 years later. If you buy into the traditional timeline of things and the traditional narrative of things. But so I do still take them with a grain of salt, the Gnostic Bibles. But I don't think much of the Gnostics, to be honest with you. I mean, I could tell you what I know about them, but that doesn't necessarily tell you what I think about them. I don't think too much about them at all. I would say my brain space is occupied by nature and how nature operates, because nature is the most tangible thing I can wrap my head around using all the tools I have at my advantage. Like, I could use modern science and statistics and tests and knowledge of the natural world, and I can actually go into the natural world myself. I could take a walk through the mountains and understand how it works and understand how it all fits together. So I more nerd out on the natural world more so than like Gnosticism or Stoicism or all these different old school isms, paganism, shamanism. Like, I know a little bit about a lot of them, but none of those are necessarily like my shit, you know. That tends to lean toward the trees and whatnot. And the earth. The trees and the earth. And Hollow Earth. Lots of Hollow Earth too. It's one of my faves. Bless up for the quest. Music? Wait, what? Is that a question or a statement? I'm not sure. Do you do tarot? Oddle. Do I ever? P.S. Don't be a Judas. Well, if you read the Gnostic texts, if you read the Gnostic texts, you will see that Judas played a pivotal role in the ascension of Jesus, of His Holiness Jesus Cristo. Real talk though, according to the Gnostic texts, Judas was the only person that was able to face Jesus. He was the strongest of them all. So who's to say that Jesus didn't put Judas where he was because he was the only one that could take the role, that was up for the job, in other words. Alignment means I can be an American rock star while living in Bangladesh. I don't know, man. American, here's something noteworthy. Here's something noteworthy, you guys. I don't think you can be in alignment and be an American rock star at the same time. I also don't like to speak in ultimatums because there tends to not be such thing as an ultimatum. But at the same time, I've never done it. I've never witnessed, either in history or in modern times, a rock star figure that's in alignment. Almost by default, you have to be a fucking madman to be an American rock star. Like Hollywood, top 40 tracks, like I don't even know who's famous now. Like the artist 6ix9ine, dude's a fucking kook, man. Like that we idolize 69, that the kids idolize 69 is beyond. It's not beyond me, but the repercussions of kids idolizing someone like 6ix9ine is beyond me, because that is being an American rock star. Well, I guess the point was, I don't think, how aligned do you think you are? If you spend too much time in the abyss, man, you become the abyss. You know how that saying goes, like, don't stare too long into the abyss, because that eventually the abyss looks back. And I believe that shit. So you guys gotta be careful with what you're playing with, because that shit will knock you off your rocker. As the saying goes, as above, so below, as below, so above. So if you can influence the external world, then the external world can also influence you. Woodstock. It's fun jamming. Yeah, we're gonna have like a nice little. These are some of my favorite chords, man. These are like flamenco style chords. Famous, balanced American. Blessings. Yeah, I don't think it's possible. I don't know if I want to say thank the Lord, but even when I was in my 20s, like early to mid 20s, when everyone sort of all the squad wanted to be rock stars, I wanted to be a rock star, but also didn't want to be a rock star because I like to chill a lot. And traveling from bar to bar across America for the next 10 years just didn't sound like. I want to travel. I want to make a lot of money doing it. I want to have beautiful experiences all over the world from it. But attaining that via being a rock star has never seemed appealing to me. It's never fun. I love playing music. Don't get me wrong, I love playing shows and shit, but if I could somehow manage to kill it doing that without having to be a rock star, I would take that in a heartbeat. in a heartbeat. Know what I mean? Know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Damn, well said, holographic. Quoting one of my faves, Alan Watts says. What's a good music for Alan Watts quote? Hold on. Here comes the Alan Watts quote. Alan Watts. At the end of each play, both the hero and the villain hold hands and bow before the audience. And the audience applauses equally for them both. Screen crappy, refresh rate, test up. I don't even know you're speaking another language, man. Yeah, it's definitely crappy. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Whenever you see me in the garage, you guys just assume that the internet's gonna be shoddy. I'm sorry. I'm working on it. I can try and. Sorry. Refresh your screen. Hide your kids. Hide your wife. I don't know what you want from me. Other than better video quality, I know that that's what you want from me. They clap for Trump? I don't think so. You kidding me? Of course they clap for Trump. Dragon Horizon. Look, you may not like Trump at all. I get it. We get it. But the analogy was a play or a movie. Darth Vader is a million times worse than Trump, but people wear his fucking t-shirt because it's a movie. And without Darth Vader, Star Wars would be nothing. And they love Star Wars, therefore they love Darth Vader. And that's just a way the play works. That's just the way a play works. You love to hate people. Get the fuck out of here. You guys don't think you love to hate people? Why do you think there's so much drama in every one of your favorite movies? There's drama. Without that drama, there would be no movie. Be no play. We're in a play, according to Alan Watts. That's the point of it. So absolutely, like, again, you guys can't get wrapped up in I hate this, I hate Trump. No, I hate Hillary. No, I hate Biden. The dude can't say 3 sentences without fumbling over himself. I don't know what the hell that dude's talking about half the time. But, like, it's comedy. Like, you guys gotta learn how to enjoy the show. That was the message from the beginning of the video. The message was not to take shit so seriously. That everything is meaningful. Everything's meaningful, but not as serious as you guys take it. Good morning, Michael T. Afternoon or whatever time it is over there. I see fame as a tool, a bright, shiny tool. Those who are wise enough, meaning go into that world with this type of knowledge. Then you see what type of access it gives you. Use it wisely. Well said. I would like to believe that when I hit fame and success and fortune, that I would hold fast and not dip into the dark side. Can't make any promises, though. Can't make any promises. I'm probably going to team up with Elon Musk and drop off a couple spaceships on Mars. But, hey. Go study this market, Akjari. I'm going to take off to you guys. Money isn't everything, neither. Still goodbye. Alright, yo. Oh yeah, it got dark outside. We started this video when the sun was up. You guys stuck it out to the end. Nice. Hey, me and when Kobe Bryant tore his Achilles tendon in 2015, he was given an experimental surgery to help him get back on the court 10 times quicker, and it worked. Because of his fame, he was able to access it. Yes, and also because of his fame, he died with his daughter, R.I.P. to the fam, in a helicopter crash. Probably because some twisted shit that was going on between him and the big pharma company. I don't know if you guys have seen those write-ups on that, but there are famous evil people, poor people, dumb people, ordinary people. There are definitely famous evil. That's funny. Whoa. No, we already got the mosquitoes. Alright, it was fun sharing with you guys. I've been stalling for a while, but thank you for hanging out. I'll see you in the next video. Oh, like I was saying, me and Alchemy, my Tuesday, brother. Tomorrow I'm going to be busy and barbecuing. Tuesday might be busy too. Wednesday we can slam it. You want to do Wednesday? I might have time tomorrow night, maybe, or maybe, I don't know. We'll see. If you want to be ready at a drop of a dime, me and Alchemy will go live and run some Emerald tablets. Because why not? Because why not? But, yeah. Shaw Sykes, Dragon Horizon 8 and 9. Nice to see you. Salavi, Alchemy, Agent Smith. Holographic Harley. Otra vez here. Thanks, man. Stay sharp. Stay nimble. Stay open. Yet focused. Open, yet laser focused. Zip it up and zip it out.